it needs to be said. You need to hear this. Never, ever touch the wrestlers. A high five, a wrestler's coming down the ramp, yeah, that's fine. But never, ever jump the barrier and never, ever interrupt a match. One fan found out, yet again, you broke the golden rule of professional wrestling as a fan, and it was a wild scene on Monday Night Raw. He has been arrested. We have details on the attacker of Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw. Plus, we're finding out details about Ronda Rousey. What is her WWE future? Is she done with the WWE? We're not exactly clear, but we do have an update. Plus, the daughter of a WWE champion and a WWE executive is training to wrestle at a very, very young age. We'll get into all of it on today's Sportskeeda Wrestling top story of the day. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! What's up, everybody? I'm Kellam, Jose G, Jeremy joining us as well. We'll get right into it. If you haven't done already, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and hit it so you don't stink. Don't go anywhere. Keep your little grimy buttons on this screen and hammer the likes because we're going to get into all of it. Your comments will get on screen. I assume there'll be a lot of people talking about all three stories. This is one of those rare episodes where I feel every single story we're talking about could be our lead story.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
This is not an episode where you want to give up after 5-10 minutes and be like, check out the rest later, or I've seen enough. No. You are not going to want to miss what we talk about. Every single one of these stories feels like a number one story. All right, once again, we'll be talking about Ronda Rousey, an update on her WWE future. The daughter, we just learned this minutes ago, the daughter of a WWE executive is training to wrestle. And it is one that you will be like, wow, okay, all right, now I'm paying attention, all right?
Now I'm feeling old is what it's going to be.
yeah,
for real.
Someone who wasn't born when I saw their father wrestle.
Unbelievable, right?
When I was probably close to their age, is now going to be training to wrestle. That doesn't mean they're exactly signed to WWE, to be clear. All right, we'll get into all that, plus an update on this awful situation. We'll jump right into it here with a fan being arrested last night in New York City, attacking Seth Rollins. But we do want to remind you, we do have a flurry of content coming at you, including something exclusive to our Instagram channel. Bro. Come on, put up that DDP bang sign, baby. We're doing a special show with Diamond Dallas Page. It is exclusive to our Instagram channel, The Bro Show, with him and Vince Russo. They have quite a history together. Check out the short form show. It is every single Thursday into Friday. We have that episode coming up Thursday nights. Go check that out exclusively on our Instagram. Of course, we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on all the podcast channels too if you can't watch the video. Let's jump right into our lead story, gentlemen. This awful situation, a fan attacking Seth Rollins after he attacked Finn Balor, obviously, in the ring, and it was quite a wild angle, setting up those two going at it again, which I'm down for. I'm down for that as a future angle. I like that. It's something that WWE can, pull out a great matchup on paper in their pocket. And I loved the angle. I'm watching the angle, and then he gets attacked, and they're cutting away. And then I'm looking at my phone. I can tell the crowd is reacting differently. Yeah. And then all the clips start to drop of people on Twitter with all these different angles from every different version of it. A fan jumping over the guardrail, tackling Seth Rollins from behind. We will talk about the internet response to this because it was over the top. A lot of people were very, very upset. Channing throw him out. He was arrested. We have learned from Mark Raimondi of ESPN that he was arrested immediately. Mm-hmm. He was charged with interrupting an arts and culture event. That was also one of the charges in New York City. Not just
professional wrestling. Would you ever put arts and culture in the same sentence?
It is the greatest form of theater, Jose.
We would.
It's a lot of culture.
It is a lot of culture.
Shakespeare for the masses who want
to see telling that to an elite.
Asses. That is what it is.
Why in that graphic, that great graphic that Jose made, the dude looks like E.T. in that graphic.
Well, apparently this is a still
phone home.
This is a still from some internet stuff, and this kind of happens. There's just the same cycle with a fan who did this about a year ago, I want to say.
Where the hell was security?
It was about 2 years ago.
That dude had a running head start.
Well, also he didn't come up to Rollins from the front. He came up from behind. And it's worth noting because I heard a lot of people say, "How come Seth Rollins?" I heard a lot of people say, "How come Seth Rollins didn't blast this guy?" Because he didn't see him coming. He didn't know.
I mean, he had him head on, but I mean, it was so quick that because he was looking at him. but he was coming in so quick. It was so crazy. And
Rollins,
I thought it was like watching it live. I thought it was KO attacking him at first. The red shirt.
You thought it was a good angle, right?
Bigger guy. I thought it was KO at first.
Because he came into the shot too. So he came right behind. The guy found a way to get behind. The shot was from behind initially, right? And you didn't, like, he would never know. Because Rollins knows on those exits. And I can tell you from talking to people that worked in WWE and some writers. I talked to someone I knew who had a former creative position. I asked him, like, how did they not know he was coming in? And he said, because the guy chose the least likely way that they're doing this. When the security will get out of the way of the cameras. They'll let the cameras kind of shoot where they know they are. Also, that big entranceway is wide open, so there's a lot more time to really get a lead sprint and go around there. And he came right around in the perfect lane, to use a football term.
Because Rollins was looking ahead at the entrance ramp, just straight ahead, and this guy comes at a complete U around the whole barricade of that front row
from far away. And I'm like, how do you not see this guy coming? He's just jetting. He's sprinting.
Not
even, like, lightly jogging.
Rollins, not necessarily Rollins seeing him coming, but security. Where the hell? Where's Atlas security? Where's Atlas at when you need him?
Exactly. But I mean, this guy just came out sprinting like if he was running the Olympics this past summer in Tokyo, man. This guy was at another level. He just tackled the hell out of Rollins. Kudos to him for that, though.
He just did a 200-meter dash there to get to him. I mean, Jesus.
Man, when I woke up this morning, because I knew something was odd when I saw that segment last night. But first thing this morning when I wake up while I'm researching for today's news roundup video, man, I was just flooded with, Rollins getting tackled. Rollins getting tackled.
Yeah. It didn't take long. It was about an hour after it happened where we finally saw the cut of the guy actually, whoever had filmed it had actually filmed before we even saw the guy coming. He was just filming Rollins. And then he actually filmed the entire time of that guy running around the crowd and going towards Rollins. It took about an hour for somebody to post that shot. But yeah, it was crazy.
And then there's been some debate here online about how come, Rollins like lay a shot in on this guy. I know the referee was right there away. WWE security was there as quickly as they could be under the circumstances. I agree. They should have been able to cut the guy off before he got there, but he just he just got them on the super way. Now that's something you're going to see this now. WWE is going to change how they put security.
That was on Barclays security. That wasn't on WWE. That was on Barclays for
who knows? Like you'd have to have a complete logistic layout of where those security guys are to know what the problem was, right? So I think that's worth noting here. More details about this guy. Our very own good buddy, Millennial Meltzer himself, tip of the cap to him as well. Sean Rossap reporting that this guy apparently went online, as all of these guys kind of do. This happened with a guy who was very openly ill, it appeared, and did this with Chris Jericho a while back at an event with All Elite Wrestling, and claimed he was doing this for some other reason. The guy who did it couldn't help but not have the internet infamy, despite all the legal ramifications he's going to deal from this. He was arrested. Apparently, he's out of prison. Or out of jail, and is posting about this and putting things online. And
did you watch the video, Kevin? Did you watch the video?
Not. I because I get too mad.
Did you watch the video, Jeremy?
I couldn't bring myself to watch it.
I haven't had time. I haven't had time to watch it yet. So
I know someone like yourself, Kevin, may not bring yourself to watch it because I know how opinionated you are. But I try to.
It's not opinion. I just get mad.
No, I know that you get mad, but you can tell one. I'm not a psychiatrist, so I can't diagnose, but it almost seems like there is some type of mental illness in there. But this guy is a huge mark. Like this guy's naming Colby Lopez, which is Seth Rollins' real name in real life, calling him out in the video. He's also calling out the Fatu family, the Anoa'i family. He said he did this for The Rock. He said he did this for Rikishi.
Okay.
Like, no lie. He's looking at the camera. I did this for my family. I did this for my tribe. I did this for Roman. I did this for Rikishi. And then he looks at the camera. And then I did this for The Rock. Like, this is straight out of jail this morning. Okay. In the video. So the guy's just, I don't know, man. No, he really isn't. If he is mentally ill, then, get on your meds, right?
Yeah.
But dude, come on. Like you people should have common sense, but there is no common sense right now.
He's lucky he didn't do that He's like he didn't do that in the 90s. He would have been taken out in the back into a room before the cops came. And
Chavo Guerrero put out a tweet.
Oh, I want to talk about this Chavo spin on this. Okay, so this guy gets erected. Like, thankfully, Seth wasn't injured in this whole thing. He did get a busted lip.
I think he was already busted open. I was watching the video of the full video of that fan running. He was already bloodied up from before, so that wasn't from the fan.
All right, so then you have Chavo Guerrero, WWE veteran, guy who definitely go to the Hall of Fame at some point, and maybe this conversation will come up when he gets inducted in the Hall of Fame. Because Chavo goes in there, and Chavo, this is no rip on Chavo. I've met him. He is a legit tough guy. I'm fairly certain he could kick my ass every day of the week and twice on Sunday if he wanted to. Right? I'm not saying anything or anything.
That's a solid
like that.
assessment.
Yeah, that is more of an assessment. I can't even get a go with him any day of the week. Not even on Sunday. No, I'm just
not even on Sunday, man.
I am not there. These chicken arms are not ready to swing. You know what I mean?
Shop's closed on Sunday.
Yeah. He's getting doubles on me. He's doubling on me. So he comes online. He says, "I remember when wrestlers could beat up the fans if this happened." Basically, he's alluding to that in a post on Twitter, and he gets lit up. He gets lit up by people on Twitter.
Yeah. And
then there's some other wrestlers who are there that kind of put out. They don't deflect to Chavo. They just kind of like respond and say, MVP for specifically MVP was jawjacking with somebody in the front row in the main event. They did a dark match main event, a multi-man tag. There's a video of him going off on somebody in the crowd. I don't know. There was something in the crowd there last night. MVP also posted because he's a jiu-jitsu person. He understands shooting, right? That Seth at one point had this guy in a front face lock, and if he wanted, could have put him to sleep.
Seth could have taken him out from that bottom position.
Props to the ref for getting there real quick too.
Yeah.
Props
to the ref for getting there really quickly. I've done some time in a wrestling locker room. You have, Jose. At the independent level, this person would have been lit up.
It would have been
lit.
You would have taken him into a back room for a few minutes before you called the cops, right? The boys would have introduced themselves.
I don't know if I can tell you, I've heard about situations, and this isn't me attesting anything, but I would say the initial physical interaction would have been done in front of the crowd right away.
I know back in the day,
that person would have been brought backstage, but it would have been more browbeating verbally backstage than anything physical. Like anything physical, you would want anyone else in the crowd to think they're going to try and do that to see it right away. And so that they know, okay, now you break the curtain, you break the invisible curtain that we have here. Here we go. And that's something I've been told. That idea that someone gets licks put on backstage, I don't think it's 100% true.
Probably back in the day.
Back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, it definitely happened. It definitely
30 years ago, yes.
Oh, it definitely happened.
I've heard a tale. I've heard stories. Yeah, I wonder if
did someone jump in a cage once with Hogan and somebody else, like an idiot, back in the 90s?
WCW.
Yeah, like that is that's probably got to be one of the top idiotic things is you're locked in a cage with the wrestlers,
Quick side note on the video as well. The guy also says, about last night. Yeah, that's something that Vince and I squared away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We took care of that. Vince and I booked it. I can find it if you guys want to answer a couple of questions and show it. But I can find it real quick, and we can.
Do we have to play it?
We don't have.
No, we don't have to play it. It's 4 minutes long, so we really don't want to play it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give out the guy's name either because I don't want to give him the recognition for what he did. But let's
get into another story because we have some other big ones to get to here.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about this daughter of a WWE executive and a champion training to wrestle. It will get your attention here. We're talking about Ronda Rousey in a minute, but I do want to make sure we touch on the subject before we wrap this one up with a bow. Is the concern now with this happening recently in AEW, with this happening now in WWE, later on in the dark match, there was some interaction, as I mentioned, with MVP and someone in the front row who made their way to the barrier. They made their way to the barrier from another position in the seats. We start seeing about people acting weird now, coming out in public, haven't been out in a long time, on planes and all these different things, crazy stuff at concerts. I'm not referencing Astroworld. I'm just referencing concerts I've heard about now with people, comedy clubs, people just losing their mind. Haven't been out in a while. This is the first time they've been drinking in a year and a half outside.
It's a fever. Yeah, it's something in the air, man. People are they're trying to let loose, man. It's almost like a purge, right? They're trying to.
What's going to happen here? Is WWE making any big security changes?
I don't know. I don't know if that's something I should speculate. I mean, they do have their own team of security, but I think this was on Barclays, man. Barclays really should have had that area sealed off. I know they have people in the crowd in there, but that was all Barclays. I don't think that had anything to do with WWE security team. That was all Barclays. Barclays should have been on top of it, right there at the platform on the head of the stage. There should have been someone right there on the left-hand part of the stage to stop that guy before he even made it through the ramp.
Yeah. He took a lot of steps to get to Rollins there.
Absolutely. I mean, the guy came in hot.
People definitely taking their sounding off in this topic, and I want to get to some of your takes on this here. Eric saying, that's like the idiot who attacked Bret Hart. He should have gotten.
And I used to work with that guy. I worked with that. I knew that guy.
That's right. You told me about this.
Yeah, I used to work with that guy.
The guy who attacked Bret Hart, Hall of Fame 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, I knew him well.
What was the deal with him?
I don't know. I heard he kind of lost it and got into some drugs after he, because we worked together at Allstate back in the day, and he was actually on my team. I literally, he was on my team. He was, not just a part of the company. He was on my team, and he had quit, and I just heard from some friends that he had just gotten into drugs. He tried to get into MMA. Didn't really have a successful run with MMA, and it just got into drugs and whatnot. But
he tried to get into wrestling and didn't have a successful run in that either.
Yeah, no, not at all. When I saw the name, I'm like, no.
Now that one, was one where a bunch of people got their shots in.
Yeah. Old Cash got in there.
Yep. The Dax boys got in there.
Yeah.
Handful of people got shot.
Man, when I saw the report and saw the name, I'm like, that can't be right. From Lincoln, Nebraska, I'm like, oh shit.
Talking to people I know in WWE, the term that Titus was yelling to people, he's like, all right, boys, we got enough. like it was just like Titus O'Neil, who's one of the locker room veterans. He's like, enough, boys. Enough, boys.
Enough of the potatoes.
Enough.
He's at his spot for today. Denise sneaking in some comments here. Denise, somebody jumped the ring at a Triple H Austin match. Molly, this is one interesting. I was at an event. A woman slapped Roman's butt and was arrested.
Well, she acknowledged him.
Yeah, you acknowledge those cheeks, you're going to prison for night. That's what's happening.
Bro, that's the tribal ass, bro. That's the tribal ass. You better respect it.
I remember a fan when Alexa and Nia Jax were a team, and Nia Jax got thrown over her shoulder. They would do this bit where Nia would just get Alexa out of the match, right? And do the heel powder thing where they would try and leave the ring. And it was a house show. Nia Jax threw over her shoulder, and Alexa's like, get me out of here, right? And this little kid reached over the guardrail and totally slapped
a little kid.
And then you can just see Nia Jax be like, ooh, like you're not scared. Bye, you're out of here, kid. You're out of here.
It's downhill for the rest of the life of that kid.
Yeah, I'm sorry to pause the delay, jump into this Ronda Rousey story, but everyone's losing their mind on this. I know we spent enough time on this. Let's jump into Ronda Rousey.
Yes, absolutely, man. Let's jump into Ronda Rousey because Ronda Rousey's making some noise again, guys, in the internet. She had a interview earlier today. Actually, she recently spoke on a Facebook live feed. Currently, to pretty much update everyone on what she's been doing. People asked her if she's still under WWE contract, and she said, "Technically, I don't think I am, but who knows? That's a question for the lawyers." And then she was also asked about a possible comeback. Now, she mentioned during the live that she keeps in contact pretty frequently with Stephanie McMahon. They exchange baby photos with each other. They stay in touch pretty frequently, but she hasn't had a chance to talk with Triple H about coming back or anything like that. So right now, it's an we don't know situation. But that's all she had to say about that, man. She looks like she's doing well, but overall, don't expect Ronda Rousey to be coming back anytime before WrestleMania.
How long has it been since she had her child?
Well, she gave birth 3 or 4 months ago, maybe 5. And her contract expired back on April 10th, 2021. So we don't know if she has any type of an extension. But yeah, dude, I have.
Is there a rollover clause in it? But saying something like the lawyers need to talk about that is never an indication of this thing's happening. My assumption is that she's wrestling
one and done.
My assumption is she's going to want to sign a new deal. She's not going to want to work under the deal she had. So whatever that is, I wouldn't say that. I'm not writing her off.
No,
but I'm saying it's not 100%.
But if she's coming back, I have a feeling she's pretty much. I think she's tied to WWE. I think she's loyal to WWE. I don't see her going anywhere else.
I wouldn't see All Elite Wrestling wanting to spend the money on somebody that can only use that sporadically.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Ronda working some house shows, but only in big towns. And you had her working major league pay-per-views and doing angles. She was the female Brock Lesnar. So very elusive. Keep it like an attraction. Make that person happy. But then we have some fans who are not fond of it here. Ronda Rousey needs to stay away.
Ronda Rousey. I wonder, I wonder now that she, because she left to have a family. Now that she has started that family, I wonder if she is going to be a little more full time the next time when she comes back. I kind of wonder now.
I mean, full time for a short period of time. Do it for a little while and then come
probably
on
for
back.
like a WrestleMania season, like road to WrestleMania. Have her probably come back at the Rumble.
Yeah, I'm not saying 300 days, but
no, but yeah, like something to lead up to
more often than she was
maybe.
before, though. Maybe I would say.
Yeah.
I know we got a lot of new people watching, shouting out from all the different parts of the country watching. Richmond, Virginia.
Where you at?
Oklahoma City.
Where you at?
Long Island, Strong Island. Go Islanders. Thank you guys for checking out, watching out for the first time. We got the diehards with us as well. Shout out to Donna, Philip. Shout out to all the Randys, Phil, all the people watching with us all the time here. Paul, thank you. Cincinnati, Ohio in the house. How you doing, Nasty Natty? Home of our very own Riccocino. As well. But talking about Ronda Rousey, fans with different comments about what's going on here, like Tom Smogs, love that name, saying, I wish Ronda came back, snap Charlotte Flair to retire.
Oh boy.
It should be noted that back when they had that matchup, we really didn't get a clean finish on that because it ended in DQ with Charlotte Flair hitting her with all those kendo sticks. So I think we could run that one back and actually try to get a good finish on.
We could run back the WrestleMania main event of Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky back if we wanted to, because that roll-up finish is kind of disputed, and I think that was kind of the idea. Some other people say it was sort of a botch. And that was the match that launched.
It's a wrestling maneuver, Kevin.
It is
what a maneuver!
What a maneuver! I think Ronda Rousey still has a lot of drawing power in wrestling.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
I mean, she had a lot of drawing power before she even came to WWE, so she's just a household name, just like Brock Lesnar, dude.
Yeah.
And Clifton and a handful of people here in the chat also saying we want to see that Becky.
We were supposed to get that, and we never got it.
We never got it.
She barely scratched the surface with what she did in the WWE. There's so much more for her to do in there. So, there's going to be a time where that comes, and it's going to be glorious.
And in terms of the exceptions of WWE's new rules of focusing on younger female talent and younger male talent, this is one of those exceptions.
Yeah,
this is one of those exceptions because you have somebody comes in with such a big name and such a star power around them. So that would be for sure here. Mike Tissione. Oh, how you doing, Mike?
Mike.
Mike is a good fan of the brand. He says, put Ronda Rousey in the cage with the guy who attacks Seth Rollins. That would be fair. Bucket. Yeah.
She would not let go of the choke, by the way.
No, she would not. That guy wouldn't
absolutely
leave
not.
with all of his limbs. So that's no high fives for her life after that point. So certainly an interesting scenario. Let's get into this other story here. This is an interesting one. Alex McCarthy, shout out to Alex. He was with us on our Survivor Series Trivia Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
He got to have an interview recently with Stephanie McMahon, who's been making the media rounds. Another big blitz of WWE in the advertising world. Stephanie's still a prominent executive with WWE. Of course, married to Triple H, who's still in a high-ranking executive position. Triple H still on the mend after a heart procedure a few months back. We've learned, though, in this interview that their oldest daughter, who's 15 years old, is training to wrestle. And this is certainly an interesting story that broke just about an hour ago. What's the
WrestleMania 55? Simone Johnson versus the Levesque daughter. This is great, dude. I think this is awesome. the next generation of superstars. We're seeing them grow up before our eyes, bro. This is great.
Boy, I'm getting old. Yeah.
Do you smell what my daughter's cooking? Like it's gonna, they're gonna be old.
Do you smell what my great granddaughter's cooking?
Yeah, it was funny. Aurora, who's now 15, she's now already training. And when she was 8, she mentioned Steph mentioned in the interview with Alex that when she was 8, she said she wanted Vince McMahon's job. She wanted to be the boss. And but now she's trained. Now 7 years later, at 15, training in the ring.
Man, who's not to say that she could take up the family business later on?
You never know. And
exactly.
And also, it's worth noting, other people's daughters have trained to wrestle and just found out, or children have trained to wrestle. It's not for them, know. It's not for everybody, but you're raised in it. You at least should give it, if it's something you've been around your entire life and you've been exposed to it, that intimately is having a parent who does it at such a high level. You're around that ring all the time. You've at least been able to get in the ring with your folks and stuff like that too. Jose, you and I have worked a few shows. We haven't wrestled. I've gotten in the ring and done.
I used to wrestle. I don't wrestle. I stopped wrestling 8 years ago.
Okay, so when you did it, you had the itch, right? And whatever itch you had was fulfilled, right?
Exactly.
They're even saying that their youngest, who's 11, is interested too. And Steph says that she is all about the personality of the sport and can't wait to see what she's going to do. So I don't think there's just one
Still
in that
a WWE
family.
take. Listen, we don't want any.
We might have a stable of Levesques in the WWE within the next 10 years.
Oh man!
Right there, definitely. King Dixon said what I'm saying. The Rock's daughter and Hunter's daughter, epicness in the making.
How old is Simone? Is she only? She's like 18, right?
Yeah, but still, I mean, 3 years apart. That doesn't matter, dude. They could work. If she ends up getting trained and she gets to some training at the PC,
is she still working?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she still in the PC?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's still doing a lot of work in the PC. But for Hunter's daughter, though, I mean, if she wants to get a workout at the PC, I'm sure she could just fly down any time of the week.
Yeah,
get that training in there.
I don't think that's
athletes.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be too hard for her to do.
Yeah,
who are you? Well, my dad.
Are you saying she doesn't have an access to a ring in her house or something like
that?
Yeah.
Oh, she probably does.
She
probably does. I mean, this is the granddaughter of Vince McMahon, the daughter of Stephanie McMahon, the daughter of Paula Beck. So yeah, this is a hierarchy.
The amount of pressure on somebody coming into the business like that.
Big time.
Like if you internally, externally, there's a lot you're signing up for that you didn't know. Until, even if you think it's a lot of pressure, you're not going to know how much it is until you start going through it, So
she hasn't even stepped foot in a ring that we've seen her physically, and we're already talking about it. Put it like that. Just put it like that. There's a lot of hype behind this.
Paul Krakonski saying Stephanie's daughter, Triple H's daughter, will be a 24/7 champion next year. Before she even debuts in the WWE, she'll be a 24/7 champion. Crazy things have happened.
The Rock's daughter joins the head of the table, part of that faction of the bloodline. What if Paul Levesque's daughter, Triple H's daughter, Hunter's daughter, creates her own version of D-Generation X?
And
just make something new. My thing is don't feel like you have to do your parents' thing.
True.
No, I mean, just like a version. It doesn't have to be the same exact version.
I get what you're saying. Do some nods to it.
Yeah, they don't have to come down to the ring and say "suck it."
Exactly.
Like you had Cody out there.
Because that's exactly what Vince McMahon's granddaughter wants to see, or what Vince McMahon wants to see from his granddaughter. Suck it.
She probably does that to them on the daily, anyways. Hey, hey, Grandpa, suck it.
Hey, pal, suck it.
Crazy stuff, man. All right, that'll do it for us today. Jump to the comments if you're listening or watching on demand. Let us know what you think. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Kev Kellam. Follow him, Jose_G_official. Follow Jeremy Bennett at JB Huskers as well. And if you haven't done already, go ahead and follow Sportskeeda Wrestling, SK Wrestling _. All right, you search Sportskeeda. You may just get the general Sportskeeda sports account, but search for the SK Wrestling account. We're on Instagram. We have a ton of people following us on Instagram. A lot of top 5 videos coming out. I'm going to be on pay-per-view this Friday night. AAW, Windy City Classic, Fight TV, Silas Young from Ring of Honor back in action. Fred Yehai versus Matt Fitchett for the AAW Heavyweight Championship. Fitchett's come out of nowhere. We have a ton of talent on this show from All Elite Wrestling, WWE vets, Impact vets. Lady Frost is making the media round. She's going to be on the show. This is can't miss. $13 you could spend on some of the best independent wrestling. You see, I don't want to watch that stuff that's on Friday nights. Well, we got something cool too. So give it a shot if you haven't. And also, tickets are all available now at aawpro.com. What's up, boys?
That's right, guys. Don't forget also to check out our brand new show on Instagram, The Bro Show, featuring Vince Russo and Dr. Chris Featherstone. That's going to be Thursday night Eastern Standard Time at 10:30 p.m. on Instagram. This is going to be great, guys. Make sure you check it out. I checked out the first episode last week. Hilarious, good stuff. It's going to be on our Instagram page, and that's going to be every Thursday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. India Standard Time. So go ahead. And Friday morning, 9 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So go ahead and check us out over there. And I'm going to be off this week from Weekends of Wrestling because it is Thanksgiving. So I'm going to be grubbing it up. But I will be back next week with Weekends. But you can catch me every single day here on the Top Story and on the News Roundup. Because it is Thanksgiving, I will not be on Thursday or Friday. I don't think any of the team is going to be on Thursday. But guys, stay tuned. We got tons of stuff dropping. What about you, Jeremy? What you got, broski?
Not a lot, but we got Top Story tomorrow. We got maybe a Freestyle Wednesday in case we don't do a Friday show. I've got a podcast. We're on a hiatus right now, but I think we're going to come back after Thanksgiving, after next week. But it is Lost in the Midcard. Search for Lost in the Midcard on your podcasting apps. Make sure you select the new feed so you get the newest one. We're also, the video version is on the YouTube. So search for Lost in the Midcard on the YouTube as well. We've been on a little bit of a break, but we plan to come back on the Thursday after Thanksgiving.
Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. I know coming into the holidays, we are thankful for you. Appreciate all the support. This is an awesome thing we get to do, and we're thankful that we get to do it with you so often.
We get to call this work.
And we get to call this work.
Work.
There's so many. I'm going to do the thing at the holidays, and you guys are going to relate to this, where people are going to say, like, how's your job? And they're going to lean over and say job with an extra question mark behind it, because they're still going to think.
I always get, are you doing that TV video thingy? Is that what you're doing?
But when it's about wrestling.
When I used to DJ at a gentleman's club.
It's a wrestling thing.
I used to DJ at a gentleman's club, and I called it, I got to go to the job. Yeah, your job. Yeah. Well, yeah, right. Yeah.
I would say the same thing about you DJing at a strip club, though.
That's work. That's work.
You know,
I mean,
you don't know how much work goes into that.
Yes, it is. Yes,
you don't know how much work goes into that.
There's a ton of logistics that go into that. There's a lot of logistics
to put up with too.
You're like the referee of if this was a wrestling match. The strip club DJ is the referee.
Thankfully, I've been out of that
Two
for
lap
a few years
dances
now.
for 10. Shoulder.
No, you
get out of here.
You're out of here.
No touching the girl.
Let's get out of here, guys. Let's get out of here. Remember, guys, whenever you're watching us here on Sportskeeda Wrestling, remember
making their way to the main stage.
Ladies and gentlemen,
watching wrestling, enjoy it.
Put your hands together for Kevin. Yeah.